On this episode, the top 4 workout keys for building your sexual charge. This is the Holistic Alpha Male Optimization Podcast, where we help you unleash your true power as a man. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm Stephen Mathis. Thank you for being a part of this tribe. Let's talk about working out, specifically the keys to ensure that your workouts build your sexual charge, because they don't necessarily, just because you're exercising doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have a positive impact on your sexual fire and your sexual charge. Now, of course, if you gradually are improving your body composition, that's going to help your overall health. That's going to be a good thing when it comes to your sexuality. But in terms of a direct impact on, okay, is every workout directly building that fire, or most of your workouts directly building that fire, there are some keys that are absolutely critical. Now, there are so many ways to move your body, so many ways, and there is no one right way. Maybe you're running, maybe you're lifting weights, maybe you're in a gym, maybe you're outside, maybe you're doing yoga, Pilates, rock climbing, hiking. It doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as it's in alignment, as long as you're doing it consistently. Of course, that's the first part of this. You got to be working out on a consistent basis. Okay, you're working out on a consistent basis. You're doing whatever you like to do, whatever feels good. Now, what are the keys that you can apply to that? There are 4 keys. The first one is intensity. You've got to get intense. I cannot stress enough how important this is. This will be by far the biggest single factor in terms of whether your workout will really build that sexual charge or not. When we get really intense, yes, there's absolutely some physiological stuff that we can point to. For example, how sprints are proven to massively increase human growth hormone and testosterone. We know that when we get intense, it has a physiological benefit. It also has an energetic benefit beyond what we can measure in that hormonal stuff. I promise you, if you continually raise your ability to get intense in your workout, you will feel such a benefit overall in life, because there are so many benefits. The benefits to our brain, to our hormones of getting to that intense place are very impactful. And definitely when it comes to building your sexual charge, you want your workouts to be building your sexual charge, you've got to get intense. So instead of thinking about how long you're going to go, and when I say intense, here's what I mean. I don't mean how long can you go until you're absolutely just crushed, exhausted. What I mean is, how intense can you get in a short period of time? How hard can you go for 45 seconds or a minute? How hard can you go for 10 minutes? How much can you push yourself in that limited period of time? Now, the 1 minute thing, I'm not suggesting your entire workout is 1 minute. What I'm suggesting is that over the course of a workout, maybe you have a 15, 20, 30-minute workout. Over the course of that workout, you need to have some minutes, some short bursts of absolutely as intense as you can get. If you're not getting that, you're leaving a lot on the table when it comes to the energy that you can be getting out of your workouts. So the action item for this first key, intensity, is practice that. Practice looking at, okay, not only how hard can I go in a real short period of time, for example, how hard can I go in a particular set? Something like burpees is great for this reason, because you can go hella hard in a short period of time with burpees. There's lots of other things you can do it with as well. It doesn't matter. Do what you're doing, what you like to do, but make sure that you're getting intense. The other way to do that, beyond looking at, okay, that 45-second or minute, sets or periods throughout your workout, is have a workout, or the most important part of a workout, where you set a timer for 10 minutes and you go as hard as you can for those 10 minutes. Whatever you're doing, go as hard as you can, push yourself as hard as you possibly can for those 10 minutes. If you make progress on those two and it doesn't have to be precisely 10 minutes, but if you make progress on those kind of ways of pushing your intensity, you will feel direct benefits to your sexual energy and your sexual charge. The second key is core strength. Core strength is so important for our sexual health. I've talked about this in the past, a variety of ways. For example, most recently, I talked about the cremaster muscle, one of the muscles that actually attaches up to your psoas and then goes down and wraps around the testicles. The muscular aspect of our sexuality is very important. And the most important part of that beyond sort of our root muscle, Kegels, doing things like that, workout specific, the most important thing is core strength, and especially deep core strength and lower core strength. So forget sit-ups and crunches and bullshit like that. It is not going to help you for this purpose, or minimal benefit from that. What we really need to do is we need to get deep into our core and low, because those are sort of where the connection points happen. That's where it really feeds into our sexual being in that part of our life. So the biggest thing to focus on, the easiest thing when it comes to attacking your core in the way that will benefit you most, is instead of thinking about bringing your upper body towards your lower body, for example, like you would do in a crunch or a sit-up or something like that, we want to be thinking about bringing our legs up towards your upper body. When you do that, and there's so many different ways to do that, when you do that, now you really get the lower abdominals engaged, you get the psoas engaged, and you're going to feel way more benefit. Probably the two things that I would suggest including on a regular basis, the most basic thing for this is get in a plank position and do essentially mountain climbers. You might be familiar with mountain climbers. You can look those up. Basically, you're bringing your knee to your chest, right? And if you're doing a traditional mountain climber, it's in sort of a running kind of speed where you're in that plank position and you're bringing your knees to your chest, boom, in a running speed. If you slow it down to the same thing, but kind of a walking speed where it's one leg back, other leg back, you'll be able to do it for longer because it won't be such a cardio burn, but it will hit your core harder because you can go longer. So that's a great one. Everybody can do that. You do not need equipment. Do that every single day, every single day. And then the other thing is anything, again, where you're lifting up your legs towards your upper body. A really good way to do that is any kind of bar work. So hang on a bar and bring your knees up to your chest, toes to bar, that kind of stuff. Core strength is the second key. And again, the easiest thing to think about is you want to be bringing your knees to your chest, cross them, bring your toes up. Anything where you're lifting your legs is going to help you. The third key is leg strength. Leg strength is so important. Man, it's so important for our longevity. You look at one of the biggest factors in longevity as we get into our later years is actually how strong your foundation is. So there's a lot of really good reasons to have strong, capable legs. But definitely when it comes to building our sexual charge from our workouts, you got to be building your leg strength. It's a huge factor. Again, there's plenty of data to show the physiological aspects of this. For example, the effects on testosterone and human growth hormone from heavy compound lifts that involve the big muscles of the legs. So there's plenty of data to show the physiological side. And I can also promise you that as you get into really pushing your leg strength hard, man, you're going to feel that fire. You're going to get into those times when you just got to yell out let out a scream or a grunt or just, like that's the fire and the intensity that you want to find. Working your leg strength with intensity will do that. Now, one thing here's the action item with leg strength. I mean, squats, any kind of leg strength in general is good. The biggest thing is going harder. Legs hurt. Legs hurt more. Any kind of heavy lift with your legs hurts more. So most people don't push themselves as hard because they reach that burn point where they want to stop sooner than they would reach it like with upper body work. So the reason a lot of people don't make a lot of progress with leg strength is because they're just not pushing hard enough. We've got to be willing to get into that really uncomfortable place because legs fucking hurt. They do hurt. Get into the burn, learn to love it. Your legs will get stronger. Your sexual charge will go up. Lastly, on the leg part is practice lots of split leg stuff. So lunges, Bulgarian split squats, stuff like that. Anything where you're getting your legs separated. What happens is you start to get up into the deeper part of your legs. You get up into the deep part of your glute where it really connects up deep. You get into the deeper sort of inner part of your hamstrings. You get into this deeper part that you don't really get into. For example, if you're doing squats and you really feel into where that's pushing, your glutes and your legs, you're going to feel it much more sort of, yes, in the back, yes, in your glutes, but kind of towards the outside of that. Whereas when we can get that leg work that really gets up in the deep inner part of our legs, Again, because we're getting closer to the actual physical area of our sexual center, it has a bigger impact. So third key, work your legs hard, build strong legs, and separate those legs so you get up deeper. The last key, so by the way, let's recap. First one, intensity. Second one, core strength. Third one, leg strength. The fourth key is don't overtrain. Now, I know the first thing I said is get intense. 100%, absolutely critical. Equally as critical, and maybe the most important of all four of these, is don't overtrain. So overtraining does not happen. Overtraining does not happen from going too hard for a minute period or a 10-minute period. You will never overtrain by doing that in this way. The way you will overtrain is by training too hard, too often, or especially training too long. You do not need to keep going and going and going and crushing yourself from a length time standpoint. It will only be counterproductive. Again, there is data to back up the fact that what happens is as we come out of a workout, the hormonal impact that we get from that workout can vary dramatically. We can come out of a workout with testosterone improved and boosted not only in the hours following that workout, but the next day, that lingering kind of effect. We can also come out of a workout with the precise opposite, where it's actually crushed our testosterone. It raises cortisol, and thus it's going to lower our sexual charge instead of boosting our sexual charge. Most of the time, that overtraining happens from going too long, especially if you're getting into your 30s, your 40s, or beyond. Intensity is where it's at, not duration. The way that I pay attention to this, and a few of you are going to be on board with this because I know some of you guys are. Some of you might think I'm a little weird. The way that I can tell this the best is by paying attention to my scent. What happens is when you get in that really intense part of a workout, if you pay attention, when you get into that really intense part, as long as you're getting intense enough, your scent will change. You will get more of that manly musk, right? That's when we want to end our workout, is when some of that increased sort of scent is still around. If you keep going and going, and I know that some of you guys may have no idea what I'm talking about, you may never have experienced this, trust me, have an open mind. What will happen is if you pay attention, that manly musk will increase when you get into that intense place, and then it will stay and you keep going. But if you go too long, that scent will start to fade. And if you go long enough that scent fades away, you're coming out of that workout in a much worse position than you could be in terms of your hormones and your sexual charge. We want to end our workouts when we still have some of that scent. And then another way to look at that is think about or pay attention to the fire, just your inner, your fire, right? You want to still have some of that. If you push yourself so hard in your workout that you just have none of that left, when you get to the end of your workout and you're just like spent, you've gone too hard. You don't need to go that hard to get great results. Stop when you still have some of that fire left. You'll carry that fire into your day, and you will come out of it with much better impact in terms of your sexual energy. So again, regardless of how you're moving, move in ways that you enjoy, move in ways that feel in alignment with your body, with your spirit. But keep these 4 keys in mind. Get intense. Core strength is key, especially lower core strength and deep core strength. Your psoas, think about bringing your legs up to your upper body instead of your upper body towards your legs. The third key is leg strength, especially getting your legs split up so you can really get into that deep part. And the fourth key is don't overtrain. If you do those 4 things, I'm convinced that no matter how you're training, if you knock out those 4 keys, you're going to be getting a direct and positive benefit from your workout. So don't get too hung up on, you got to do it this right way and this sets and this particular approach and this split of days and all. It doesn't matter. Keep those 4 keys in mind. Move in ways that you like to move. Most importantly, go move. Go move your body. Go get some. We'll talk to you soon.